Welcome back to the Pet Stop. I'm Dr. Brian VOYNICK. Our next guest makes a living out of teaching children of all ages about the amazing creatures that share our planet. Travis Gale is the owner of the Eyes of the Wild Center in Warren County and Wallaby Tales Traveling Zoo. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having us back.
You're welcome. We see these guys, unfortunately, too often on the road sometimes.
Yeah.
Not alive, sometimes playing possum.
Well, yeah, actually, that's part of the reason we see them on the side of the road is they're not incredibly fast. And one of the ways they protect themselves is playing possum, which actually isn't something they play. It's something that kind of happens to them. They pass out, and it's not something they really have control over. Where I grew up, farmers would just scare them in the barn and then pick them up by the tail because they won't wake right up.
Right.
You know, it takes a little time.
They drool too, huh?
They drool, they let out a real bad odor, their tongue hangs out, their eyes roll back. So they really don't look like they're alive. And some animals don't want to eat something that's dead, so they'll leave it be.
And frothing.
Right. Yeah, the other problem with it too, at the side of the road, is a lot of people don't realize even throwing apple cores and things out our car windows attracts sometimes animals like possums to the side of the road.
Good point.
Then they come in close contact with vehicles and things like that, so that's part of why.
Well, they're very prolific, you were saying, huh?
Yeah, they can have up to 25 babies at once, which is more than any other mammal.
And they're marsupials, huh?
Yeah,
like
this
kangaroos?
is North America's only marsupial. And they also, the only mammal in all of North America with an opposable thumb that you might be able to see on that back foot there. So she can grab on. She also has a prehensile tail, which this tail is incredibly large. She's very lazy, and somebody had found her under their deck and decided to try to raise her. And they were feeding her everything she wanted. And so now we open her enclosure and she'll lift up her head and sniff a little bit. If she smells food, she'll drag her tummy across the floor and come check it out. If not, she just goes back to bed.
And she's pretty ancient for her breed, you were saying.
Yeah, they've been around since dinosaurs, basically. Almost unchanged. Their relatives were here when dinosaurs were here.
Great. We'll move on to the conure then.
Sure.
Thank you. That's those possums, and they don't live much more than a year, you're saying, in the wild?
In the wild, yeah, their lifespan is incredibly short.
She happens to be about 3 years old now, so she's on some borrowed time, I guess.
Yeah, that's about the maximum that she'll live.
Getting the good life with you, Travis.
Yeah.
All right, there's a conure.
So this is Oliver. He's a Nande conure.
Handsome. So he was sexed by taking a little bit of a blood sample?
Well, we haven't personally done that. Yeah, because you can't tell the males and females apart. They have the similar coloring. And the person who brought him to us actually told us that he was a male.
Okay.
But a lot of times we find out that information isn't correct. If it, all of a sudden there's an egg in the cage, then you know. But so far, we're pretty sure that Oliver is a male.
Good-looking guy.
Yeah, and they're actually, for the parrots, one of the friendlier and a little bit easier to keep. But
not in an apartment, huh?
No, that loud noise, a lot of people don't realize, if you think you're going to get a bird and it's going to sit quietly in a cage, you're making a huge mistake. Because, part of the reason they call is in the wild, they're getting attention from potential mates. In captivity, they want attention from us, right? So he'll sometimes even make a kissing noise when I do that with him. Yeah, right?
Beautiful coloration.
Yeah. So he's a very friendly guy, but 25 years of that sound in your house is hard for people to deal with. And the larger ones, 60, 80 years.
Let's see if we could turn him towards the camera so they can get a good view. There you go.
Yeah, he's got lots of really pretty colors. He's got red on his legs, light blue on his chest. Yeah, he usually likes to try to kind of look
on the chest. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And we have a Coatimundi left, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
And the Coatimundi is in the raccoon family.
Yeah, very close cousins with raccoons, kinkajous. They're called procyonids, that family.
Okay.
And so this is Pip.
Oh, what a good one. Here's our Coatimundi.
And she makes a little noise as well.
Yeah, squeaky.
And they like to stick their nose into your business. So she's always
look at that snout, huh? Long snout, unlike a raccoon, Oh,
yeah. It's a great sense of smell.
Do they clean their food as well like raccoons do in North America?
They will a little. These guys, I feed them in captivity, these things called monkey biscuits. And they're real dry, and so the coatis will dip them in there. It's funny, they all have their different strategies for eating things. And raccoons, one of the big reasons they do that is they don't produce a lot of saliva, and so they moisten their food to help with digestion. And so these guys they live in groups, big-time troublemakers. They're always sticking the nose into everything that they can. They have a bunch of competition. They're always hungry. 30 of them can live in a group. They have this great sense of smell, so you better be fast and you better stick your nose everywhere you can if you think you're going to eat in the wild.
What are they eating in the wild?
Just about anything you could consider food. They'll eat small insects, fruit, vegetables. They'll catch fish occasionally, which sometimes I've seen her do that. We'll give her some little fish and stuff in a water dish, and it's really kind of neat. They're incredibly intelligent and very dexterous with their
You can't
feet.
have any of, you can't have either as a pet in the United States, I suppose.
Yeah,
Unless you
not
have
the
a special
possum or the coati. They definitely require special permitting. This one, there's a good reason. You know, one of my coatis one time, I had it in the house sniffing around. It jumped up on a table to check out a light, decided to look under it, flipped the light on the floor. It smashed. Then it jumped off the table at me, landed on my head. I went, ah! It jumped off my head, landed on the TV, knocked the TV over and broke that too.
Man.
And it happened about that fast. There was nothing I could do. It was kind of like, crash, crash.
Coati business, huh?
Yeah, and it just looked at me like, so this is what we do. So really shouldn't be in a house, even though she seems kind of calm here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Hey, thanks so much, Travis.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Appreciate
I appreciate it.
Good education.
All
Cute
right.
critters. Folks, now it's time for our Pet of the Week, and these pictures come to us from Frank and Barbara in Highland Lakes, and this is their American Bulldog Lab mix named Louie. He was just 5 months old when this picture was taken, and just a year later you can see the handsome boy he grew up to be. The 85-pounder loves to run around the woods behind their house. He also loves his treats and going for long walks with the other members of the family. And another one of his favorite things is to visit his miniature poodle cousin Bruno. Thanks for those pictures. You know, if you'd like your pet to be Pet of the Week, send us some pictures. You can mail them to that address you see on the screen, or email them to thepetstop@news12.com. You can even email us videos of your pet, but be sure to tell us why your pet should be Pet of the Week. We'll be right back with this week's adoptees.